You woke up this morning, opened Facebook, and it was just gone. Not a warning, not an explanation, just a screen that said your account doesn't follow their community standards. But here's what makes it worse for most people watching this. It wasn't just your account. It was the work that was attached to it, the client pages you were managing, the ad account running campaigns for a business that's paying you, the group you built, the leads in your inbox. All of it, locked behind a form that goes nowhere. I've spoken to AI freelancers and social media managers who lost client contracts because of this. Not because they did something wrong, not because they posted anything they shouldn't have, but because of one technical thing they didn't know about. By the end of this video, you're going to know exactly what that thing is, how Facebook's restriction system actually works, the part no one explains clearly, and the exact setup that keeps your account stable, whether you're running your own Facebook or managing it for clients. Stay with me. This one matters. Let me start with what most people get wrong about this. The common assumption is, Facebook restricted me because I broke a rule. But that's not always what's happening. Facebook uses a strike system. One strike is just a warning, nothing happens. 2 to 6 strikes and you start losing features. 7 strikes and you get a 24-hour hold. 10 or more strikes and your account can be suspended for 30 days. And serious violations, things like repeatedly flagged ads or coordinated behavior, can get you a 30-day suspension much faster than that. 1 strike equals warning only. 10 plus strikes equals 30 days suspended. But here's the part that frustrates people. Facebook doesn't always tell you which specific thing earned each strike. You can accumulate strikes without realizing it until the restriction hits, and you're left wondering what you did. Now, there are 2 types of triggers. For regular accounts, it's things like content that violates community rules, spam-like behavior, joining too many groups at once, mass liking, and what they call suspicious login patterns. Multiple devices, different IPs, inconsistent signals. For advertisers, there's a longer list. Ads that get reported, using tools that send the same message to many people at once, running multiple personal accounts from the same device or IP, which Facebook explicitly flags as a policy issue for advertisers, and poor quality signals, ads people report as misleading, slow landing pages, things like that. And this is the one that catches freelancers and social media managers most often, not because they're doing anything dishonest, but because they're logging into multiple client accounts from the same browser, and Facebook's system doesn't know the difference between legitimate client work and someone trying to create fake accounts. It sees the same device, the same fingerprint, meaning the combination of your browser settings, your screen, your system, and it flags the accounts as connected. Before I show you the fix, let me say something clearly, because this is where videos like this get misunderstood. What I'm about to show you is a legitimate professional workflow. This is how agencies, social media managers, and AI freelancers manage their work properly. It's not about getting around rules. It's about setting up your accounts correctly, so Facebook sees each one as what it is, a separate, stable identity. Facebook doesn't restrict accounts just because it doesn't like you. It restricts accounts because its automated system detects signals that don't match what a normal, single user would look like. When multiple accounts share the same device, the same IP address, the same browser settings, the same digital fingerprint, the system flags them as linked. And if one gets flagged, the others can follow. This is also why creating a new account after a restriction almost always fails. Facebook cross-references email addresses, phone numbers, IP addresses, device settings, and even payment methods. If you try to start fresh from the same device and connection you used before, it detects that within hours, sometimes minutes. So the fix isn't a workaround. The fix is a proper setup. One where each account you manage runs in its own completely separate space, its own browser settings, its own location, its own identity. No shared signals. That's what we're building today. Let me quickly run through the 3 ways people try to solve this, because understanding why 2 of them don't fully work makes the third one make a lot more sense. First, proxies on their own. A proxy changes your IP address. That's useful, but it's only one signal. Facebook also checks your browser settings, your device information, your cookies, your behavior patterns. Changing the IP alone isn't enough. Separate physical devices. Second, separate physical devices. Each phone or laptop has its own fingerprint naturally. That's a real advantage. But it gets expensive fast. $50 per phone, $100 or more per laptop. And if all those devices are on the same Wi-Fi, they're still sharing the same IP, unless you use mobile data or proxies for each one. For someone managing 5 client accounts, that's 5 devices plus 5 proxies. It doesn't scale. Browser profile management. Third, a proper browser management setup. This is what agencies and professionals actually use. You create a completely separate browser space for each account, its own fingerprint, its own cookies, its own IP through a residential proxy. Facebook sees each profile as a genuinely different person on a genuinely different device, all from one machine. Devices equals expensive. Browser profiles equals full isolation. This is what we're setting up in this video, and the tool I use for this is called GoLogin. I'm going to show you exactly how to use it, the same way I've set it up for managing my own work and client accounts. You can try the same setup using other tools if you prefer, but I'm showing my actual workflow because it's the one I've tested and trust. Let's get into it. GoLogin is open here. This is your control panel. Each row in this list is one completely separate browser profile, one space for one Facebook account. They don't touch each other. Before I do anything real with an account, I verify the profile. There's a free site called iFay.com. I'll show you how to use it. This is a non-negotiable step in my workflow. You open iFay inside the profile and check that the fingerprint looks consistent and clean before you log into any real account. If it shows warnings, you regenerate the fingerprint and check again. Do this every time on a new profile. First profile. Click Add Profile. Name it FB-brand or whatever clearly tells you what this account is. Clear naming saves you so much confusion when you have 5 or 10 profiles running. Now the proxy. This is what gives this profile its own location. Click to add a proxy. I'm using a residential proxy here. Residential means it looks like a real home internet connection, which is what you want for Facebook accounts. Pick the country that matches where this account has historically been active. If it's a US business account, use a US proxy. If it's a UK client, use a UK proxy. Keeping the location consistent with the account's history matters. Click Check Proxy. You want to see a green result confirming the proxy is working and where it says it is. Then, Create Profile. Now I run the profile. This opens GoLogin's own browser. It looks and works like Chrome, but it's running its own completely separate identity. I navigate to iFay.com. Fingerprint looks clean. No warnings. Now I can safely log into Facebook here. I navigate to facebook.com and log in with this account's credentials. Session is saved. Next time I open this profile, Facebook is already logged in. No scanning, no relogin. Second profile. FB ads. Different residential proxy. Different IP. Different location. This is where any ad account work lives. This separation is especially important if you're running ads for clients. Facebook penalizes entire business managers when one ad account has issues. With each ad account in its own profile here, if the ads account gets flagged, your brand profile and your client profiles are completely separate. No knock-on effect. Clean. Logged in. Session saved. That's profile 2 done. Third profile, FB client. This one is specifically for client work. If you're an AI freelancer or social media manager and you're accessing Facebook accounts for clients, this is how you do it properly. Give this profile the client's name or a clear label. Assign a proxy that matches their region. Run the profile, verify on iFay, log into their Facebook account. Now here's the part that makes this a professional setup. You can share this profile with your team through GoLogin's Cloud Sync. A team member opens the profile on their machine. The Facebook account is already logged in, the session is there. They access the client's account. No passwords shared. No credentials moving through WhatsApp messages. The session is what you share, not the login details. Checkpoint. 3 profiles. Each has its own name. Each has its own residential proxy. Each verified on iFay. Each logged into Facebook. No accounts sharing anything. Sessions all saved. All right. Here's the part that most videos on this topic completely skip. And this is specifically for anyone building an AI freelance business or managing social media for clients. When a client gives you access to their Facebook page, their ad account, their business manager, you are responsible for the stability of that access. If you log into their account from the same browser you use for everything else, you are connecting their account's digital identity to yours. If your setup ever gets flagged, there's a real chance their account gets pulled into that. Think about what that means for a client relationship. You've been managing their Facebook for 2 months, running ads, growing the page. Then something in your setup triggers a flag, and their ad account goes down in the middle of their biggest campaign month. That's not a technical issue anymore. That's a client you lose, possibly a contract you lose. This is why the setup I just showed you isn't just about managing multiple accounts. It's about being a professional. It's about showing clients that you know how to handle their digital assets without putting those assets at risk. Here's how I organize this for client work. 1 profile per client, each named clearly. Client name plus what the profile is for, each with its own proxy. Everything isolated. When client A's profile is open, nothing from client B's setup is anywhere near it. When you hand off work to a team member, you share the profile, not the password. When you finish with a client, you archive the profile. Clean in, clean out. This is also where GoLogin's Cloud Sync becomes genuinely useful. You can access your client profiles from any device you're working on. You're not tied to one machine. If you're traveling or working remotely, every client account is available from wherever you are. All properly separated, all properly protected. For AI freelancers specifically, this is how you scale. Not by managing more things manually, but by having a system where each client has their own space and nothing cross-contaminates. That's what allows you to go from managing 3 clients to managing 10 without the setup becoming a liability. 5 mistakes that cause most of the problems we've been talking about. Quickly. Number 1. Running multiple Facebook accounts from the same device with no separation. If you're an advertiser especially, this is explicitly a policy problem, and it's what most people do when they start out. Number 2. Creating a new account from the same device after your account gets permanently disabled. Facebook cross-references device settings, IP, email, phone number, payment method. New account, same signals. It gets flagged within hours. Number 3. Using automation for mass actions. Sending the same message to dozens of people. Bulk follow requests. Auto-liking at speed. This looks like bot behavior to Facebook's system. Number 4. Ignoring the quality signals on your pages and ads. If people are reporting your content as misleading, if your ads have low-quality landing pages, these all feed into restriction decisions. Number 5. Not enabling 2-factor authentication on business accounts older than 90 days. This sounds small, but it's a common trigger. Go to Business Settings, Business Info, business options, and enable 2FA now if you haven't. Now, if your account is already disabled, here's the clear path. For personal accounts, your profile picture, then help and support, then report a problem, then something went wrong. In the description box, explain clearly what happened and include screenshots if you have them. For business accounts, log into Facebook Business Support. Find the restricted account. Click What You Can Do. Request review. You may need to upload a valid ID and the phone number attached to the account. A quick fix worth checking first. If your business account is more than 90 days old and you haven't enabled two-factor authentication, that alone can cause a restriction. Enable 2FA before you do anything else. Realistic expectation on response time. Some appeals resolve in a few hours, others never get a response. For minor restrictions, under 7 strikes, the honest advice is often to wait it out. 7 strikes is a 24-hour hold. That's it. If you want to set up this exact Facebook account protection workflow, I've got a link in the description for GoLogin, and there's a promo code AIVantage40 that gets you 40% off. There's also 2 GB of free proxies included, so you can test the whole setup right now without spending anything. The free proxies let you create your profiles, run the IFA verification, log into your accounts. See how it works before you commit to anything. If you have questions, the comments are open and I read everyone. I'll see you in the next one.